2, 1.
Thank you for watching This Week on Martha's Vineyard. I'm your host, Emmeline Reed. We are here with Colin Young and Frank Collaso, and we are going to be diving into your news stories for this week. Everyone's been talking about Morning Glory Farms celebrating 50 years. If you don't know Morning Glory, they are a well-known and loved farm on the island where they grow so many fresh vegetables, and it's not just that. There are so many attractions for kids, fun things to do, and some of the best zucchini bread that I think I've ever had in my entire life that you can get here, as well as so many other different things. So big shout out to Morning Glory Farms celebrating 50 years. We understand that Vineyard Preservation Trust is also doing a large anniversary celebration for, again, 50 years. So it's a big celebration year here on the island. We know that Jaws also celebrated their 50th as well. So a lot of really big, it's a milestone summer for a lot of different organizations. In other news this week, the Town Select Board voted unanimously Wednesday to select Sergeant Bradley Cortez to replace the outgoing Matt Mincone. This is something that was expected. A lot of people, really did expect to see Sergeant Cortez come into that position. So it's been a very, happy week celebrating on the island. Colin, do you have opinions on that, or were you expecting that as well?
I'm sorry, I was looking at how you were positioned.
Oh, okay. Was I positioned weird? Sorry.
No, just the microphone's like kind of
Oh, yeah, no.
in your
Better?
face. Yeah, that's better.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
were we talking about the police chief?
Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't really know a lot about the police, but it seems like it was a good selection, and everybody's been happy about it. And
Yeah.
um, it's always nice when you get a new police chief.
Yeah. Unanimous choice. So I think, all good things. All good things. And it sounds like we're going to have Steve coming in a moment. Steve, thank you. You're joining us.
Oh,
Oh, am I joining you? I was coming to get some boxes.
Oh. What,
Yes.
What's going on downstairs tonight?
You're on the center camera.
You want me to get on the center camera? Okay.
Yep.
Come on in.
Okay, give me 1 second.
All right.
I'll be here in
All right.
a
We'll have you here in a minute. In the meantime, we're going to flip over to
Uh-oh.
Frank because you're back now from
I
Chicago.
am back from Chicago, yes.
So we were just talking about what's your first thing you're doing when you get here?
Just take that walk, look at the ocean, and if the sun is coming up early in the morning, that's a great thing. But even if the moon is just coming out, it's just peaceful.
So you're back and forth to Chicago all the time.
Yeah, Chicago, Philadelphia. I go a number of different places. You had mentioned earlier about Morning Glory. That's one of my favorite spots. So, so I was about to say I love Morning Glory. They have these monkey bars. Are you familiar with those?
I haven't had them. No.
You have not?
I've not had the monkey bars.
They have coconut, like chocolate, and then whatever else they put in there is probably mystery. But they are just delicious. Of course, all their bakeries are. Then I also sometimes make a vegetable soup, and because all of their vegetables are just so fresh, I make a vegetable soup with a tomato base. It's just delicious. So Morning Glory is one of my favorite places. So I just wanted to mention that since you talked about the 50th anniversary.
Awesome. And then I know you guys have a ton of stuff that's going to be going on at the Strand, which is why you're back. So would love to hear what you guys have that's going to be coming up. I know we're talking about it on our show, but for those that haven't watched, that episode that's coming up, give us a little preview.
Okay, so tonight we just showed Sinners, and this was my first time watching Sinners entirely, and that was a phenomenal movie with Michael B. Jordan, and so I really enjoyed it. So we showed Sinners Friday at 3 and 7. We showed it tonight, which is Saturday, 3 and 7. Then tomorrow we're showing Sinners as well at 3 and 7. But this is Comedy Fest time. So for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be having the Comedy Fest. So we kick off Monday with some phenomenal comedians, Sean Jones, Kevin Bozeman, and Gary Johnson. And so this is the time we've been preparing for all year, and so we're excited, a little bit anxious, a little bit of anxiety here. We've got some phenomenal merchandise that we're gonna be selling. Steve Capers and his daughter Mackenzie have come up with some really good things. We have inkwell bags, we got hats, we got shirts, the smiley face shirts, and so we're selling a lot of merchandise. We have some very funny comedians, and we're gonna have a good time. Now it's hard work for us, but at the same time we have fun, and everybody that attends the Comedy Fest has a lot of fun. So we're 14 years strong. So we've been going a long time. I remember one of our first shows, we had more people on stage than we had an audience. Okay. So, but now
I remember that one.
you remember that one? Yeah. So, but now, people, I go on the Inkwell and I promote the shows and talk about it. And everybody's pretty much already heard about it, and people are excited about it. I can feel the energy out there, and so we go to the Inkwell every morning, and we promote the shows. The polar bears are out there. They're doing yoga out there. People are out there walking. The energy's out there. So the Inkwell early in the morning is the place to be, because you can find out anything that's going on the island, and you can meet some phenomenal people.
Look what's going on behind me.
Steve is moving boxes because not just the Comedy Fest, but we have all kinds of events going on throughout the week. We partnered with Norfolk State. There's a college readiness workshop going on Monday. So not just the
There he is.
but we have all kind of other things going on. And Steve can probably talk a little bit about some of the other things going on.
I can. Do I get a mic there?
Yeah, come on.
All right.
Can you see me? Do I look good? Do I look good on camera?
Always.
At least I got a face for radio. So, as you get the camera together, or should I sit where Emma?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Wait, we have the.
I'm always causing some sort of issues. You see that?
No, you're all good. You're all good. We got this. So I know we were just talking about, and Frank will chat with you while we're getting Steve all set up. Another thing that I'd love to hear is, once you've got everything, like, where are you going your first stop to get, like, either something to eat, something to drink? Like, where's your first place that you're going to go other than Morning Glory?
Well, a lot of times I like to go to the chocolate house.
Oh, sorry.
When I first get off the boat, it depends on what I'm feeling. If I'm feeling some lobster, I want to go to Lookout. If I'm feeling maybe just a nice vibe, relaxing, I'll go to the Chowder House and just sit down in there and relax. I might sit at the bar and watch a little TV and just kind of unwind from the ferry ride, because I love that ferry ride. It's relaxing, and it just puts me in a certain Martha's Vineyard mood before I get it.
Yes, indeed. It's all about the mood, right?
It is about the mood.
Yeah, and there's Yasmin with Two Fish. She's one of our sponsors for the Martha's Vineyard Comedy Fest.
How you doing?
Yeah, she has good food, really good food coming out all the way from Chicago. She's one of our supporting sponsors of the festival, and they had about 18,000 boxes shipped over here, so they got some good stuff. They're going to be sampling some of her good food on Wednesday, I think it is. Is it Wednesday, Yasmin?
It's actually Tuesday.
That's what I meant, Tuesday, right?
Very busy.
Yeah, Tuesday is where it's going down, so.
Two fish out of Chicago, right?
Two Fish out of
Yep.
Chicago. And Chef Yasmin's right there, so.
Chef. Okay, Chef.
What are you going to be sampling on Tuesday?
So we'll have,
As she carries box, crab legs,
what is your sort of a seafood boil?
seafood boil.
Seafood boil, grilled lobster. So
All right. Well, we're ready for you, because last year you here, you were sampling a lot of different things, and I mean, I'm still full. So, but yeah, we always got to give shouts out to our sponsors. I mean, they really make us help sustain the theater, sustain the comedy festival itself. And, we try to give them a lot of value in exchange and name recognition and branding. So, and no other better way to do it with comedy, and also with This Week on Martha's Vineyard. But with comedy, when people are laughing, they're more acceptable to, open to receiving messages and things of that nature. So we're pretty strategic about it and intentional in who we get on board. And so Yasmin, being from Chicago, bringing Two Fish here and, showing her her specialties, and plus she's in different stores. I think like Walmart, Costco, and a few others. So she packages a lot of different stuff. So we're happy to have her here.
With you guys, it's never a dull moment. Like whenever I walk in, I'm like, okay, what's going on at the Strand? You do have to ask because you guys keep such a good rotation of different, like you had the films tonight, you have Vineyard Sound coming in, you guys have, Chef Yasmin, like you have something different all the time. And especially with Comedy Fest, it's
Yeah.
such a big deal that people look forward to. And it's just one of many awesome things that you guys do.
Well, yeah, we do a lot of different things. I mean, we do everything from comedy. We do workshops, speaker symposiums. We're doing all of these screenings and everything. It just doesn't stop. I mean, we do church on Sundays. What else do we do? I mean, we do video games on the big screen with the kids. It's just a lot of things going on, and we want to make.
Football.
And we want to do football on Sundays, right? Okay,
right.
that's a request by Colin. Yeah. So hopefully the Pats, can do some big things this year, and so we can show them. But what was I want to say? Whatever you think of, we can do it. I mean, we can do private screenings if you like. I think we got a request for a wedding, the upcoming wedding.
Whoa.
And what about your
Amazing.
documentary / movie film screening and all that sort of stuff? We're going to be doing that in September around Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, so that's going to be coming up just before September 1st. So August 30th, we're going to have the Mom MJ documentary. I'm really excited to put this out there.
Why
Yeah,
don't you tell us a little bit about it?
so this is a documentary that talks about the reality of motherhood and parenting in 2025. So I've been filming this for a few years, and one thing that we realized was that when you become a parent, there are all these different barriers that mothers, specifically face, and fathers certainly as well. We do talk a lot about postpartum depression in dads, and what emotional and physical labor can look like for fathers as well. But one of the focuses that I realized in becoming a mom and meeting what's called matrescence. So they have adolescents, and then psychologists are now advocating for this phrase matrescence. So it includes, different shifts hormonally, physically, your body changing. And, I realized there was a need to advocate for postpartum physical and mental health. There are all these different organizations making life easier for moms in a lot of ways, but also a lot of barriers that they face trying to parent as if they have no, job and work as if they have no children. It's physically impossible to kind of meet societal expectations. And it's something I've heard over and over again from different moms and experienced myself, that societal expectations have just been, really crushing a lot of moms. And what helped for me was to recognize what those expectations were and why I felt the way I felt, and talk with other moms and community.
Are there any kind of medicines you take for this, or is this more of it has to bypass, or?
So this is actually something that's a societal issue. It's not just postpartum depression and anxiety. It's the expectations put on moms that we've just got it. So for example, if you think about any kind of major surgery that you might have, right? You would probably have physical therapy. You would probably have, appointments, several appointments with your doctors. Post surgery, you'd have additional physical therapies. You'd probably have, different painkillers, and they tell you to rest. If you go into the hospital and have a C-section as a mom, you're not getting physical therapy before that. It's not recommended. It's just going to be this is happening. And even before giving birth, those pelvic floor muscles aren't protected in the same way they would be if you were an athlete. So we're not really getting the physical care that we need, which can lead to a lot of mental health impacts. And while there are mental health medications that you can take, it's really the issue why women are suffering so much from postpartum depression and anxiety. Some of it is a chemical hormone imbalance that needs to be fixed, but a lot of it is that expectation that, by the way, you're not going to get the rest you need after surgery. No one's going to recommend, pelvic floor PT because we don't talk about that. Maybe you need a therapist, but you should be fine. Every mom does it. And by the way, while you're healing from this major surgery and delivery, here's a baby. Figure out how to take care of and keep this tiny human alive. Hope your body can produce enough milk to feed it. And if it can't, well, then what are you going to do about that? And it's all of those things that are an impact on women that lead to making it very difficult to be a mother in today's society, where finding support can be tough. Um,
Now, what about the role of the dad? How can he be supportive?
Excellent question. We do talk about that. And one of the barriers to that is it's hard for a dad to watch his partner suffer. So it can be hard for dads to know where and how to step in and to how to do that. And, a lot of times what I've seen, and we talked to several therapists about this in the documentary, there are so many different ways that dads can be supportive. A lot of times it's listening and saying, hey, what do you need, rather than assuming needs. And not being offended when they say, I need more help, and sometimes seeking outside help. But that's another barrier that parents today face. Can you afford a nanny? Can you afford childcare, which is exorbitant? Childcare and housing, two huge things. The moms I talked with are like, childcare, housing, formula, all these are very expensive. How are we doing it all? And, if just dad works, how can he support me if he's working and I'm taking care of the kids? He's burnt out too. So I think the best real way is for, there's a fair play method, and we talked to, a really awesome social media influencer who talks about this. And so he's going to be appearing to discuss the fair play method for how dads can work in alongside with mom to make sure that both parents are on the same team a little more.
Now, how long can this last?
Can postpartum depression last?
Yeah.
So it can last up to 2 years in women, but there's really no date. It's really, and having been through it, for me, I noticed that for me, it was around that, like, things started to lift after 8 months, and I started to see where the problem was, but it took me a while to work through it. And I can only describe it as, like, you're living under a fog. Like, it's just a dark cloud just follows you. There's nothing you can really do about it, other than just keep asking for help. And you have to really be willing to do that. And unfortunately, where we see a lot of these tragic situations, like we've seen, in Duxbury and other areas, it happens because a lot of times the mother doesn't have the support that she needs, or the doctor isn't paying attention to what medications they're taking and how they interact. So there's lots of barriers.
Yeah, no.
I could talk your ear off about this.
Well, my question is, Frank is going through postpartum right now, and I just wanted to know how. Okay, I'm making jokes. I'm trying to add a little humor to the situation.
Everyone that postpartum is something that can last a while untreated. So we try to be serious with it. Some people just don't have it.
Let's talk on the
He was
mic
one of
there.
those
The thing I love about this documentary is going to educate so many people. Documentary is going to educate so many people, where they can just kind of get a jump on things and educate themselves through the documentary, but also on a personal level, be able to educate themselves. So I love that you're doing this. I think it's really phenomenal.
Thank
I don't
you.
even know why we have.
Emma, what's the difference between, you hear a lot about postpartum depression, but what about postpartum psychosis?
That is such a great question, and I'm so glad you asked. We do talk about that too, because this is it's a comprehensive documentary. We're talking about all these different topics: postpartum depression, yes; postpartum anxiety, childcare, the division of labor in the home, like all of it is included. But postpartum psychosis is a point that I think is really important to drive home, because the difference is really when you have postpartum depression, you're waking up and you're crying on the floor, right? You don't know why, but you're just sad, and you feel guilty about being sad because you should be happy. You have the baby, you're here, everybody's healthy. Why are you so sad? Why is this so hard for you? A lot of times it's just this deep sadness. Postpartum anxiety is, the fear of, am I doing this wrong? Like, can I do it better? Like, what if I don't do it right? What if I forget to feed them? What if I forget this? Postpartum psychosis is when a lot of times it's triggered by sleep deprivation, right? You're consistently sleeping for 2, 3, 4 hours a night. You start to see things. It's an incredibly effective form of military torture to use sleep deprivation. And in postpartum psychosis, what's happened is your body has been so depleted, either from physical nutrients, you're not getting the nutrients that you need, or lack of sleep, or maybe just, there's a chemical imbalance in your brain. You'll start to, like, literally, one woman I talked to was like, I saw my baby as, like, an evil, like, goblin. literally, like in her hands. And she was like, it didn't feel real. It felt like a nightmare. And she was like afraid of her child. So postpartum psychosis is when you start to see things that aren't there. You start to hallucinate. And
So there's a danger for the baby then.
it's a danger, yeah, for everyone. And unfortunately, it doesn't get caught. And the reason is that we're not giving moms good postpartum treatment. If you have 1 6-week checkup, literally all they really ask you is like, fill out this form. Okay, well, you seem sad. Maybe you should see someone. Oh, we don't have recommendations, but like, get yourself a therapist. Go find one. Now, if you're talking to someone who's hallucinating, do you think that person should be able to then go home, take care of their baby while they try to look on Google for people to take care of? No, someone needs to take care of them. And we're really failing them by not offering that. But postpartum psychosis is very much, it's very much something where you're hallucinating, which can oftentimes be found with postpartum depression and or anxiety. So yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, is one harder to rectify than the other, or are they?
I think that's actually a great question for a therapist. I think I haven't experienced postpartum psychosis, so I can't say. I would like to think that postpartum psychosis would be, from my personal opinion, something that, having experienced anxiety and depression, psychosis would need to be something that's addressed more. Like, that's urgent, that's immediate, that's right now. I think it would be, it's a little harder to treat because you have to have the right balance of medication and support, because you can give her all the drugs that she needs that are the right balance, but if at the end of the day that mom's still burnt out and never gets the sleep she needs, there's no amount of medicine you can give someone that will replace 8 hours of sleep. There's the reason the military uses that torture. It's effective and clean. So I would say that psychosis, I'm not a doctor, but from my own experiences, I'd say psychosis is harder to treat. But depression can also be extremely hard to treat, and it depends on the level that the person experiences and what supports they have as well.
Well, all that's going to be in this film you're showing, right?
Yes.
And it is Labor Day weekend that we're filming
August 30th.
at, right?
Yep.
August 30th.
August 30th.
Yes.
So we have the ticket sales up. They're online, and you can go on and get them. If you see those pink posters around town, hi, that's me. Scan that QR code. You can get your tickets right there. And yeah, I'm excited. So thank you guys for letting us host
It's gonna be
here.
a phenomenal documentary. I think so many people are going to benefit from it. Just everything that you just talked about is just going to educate so many people. And that's what I really like about it.
Thank you. And
I've always thought that every couple, after they have a child, needs to have some kind of therapy. Or, I say therapy, but they need to be educated on how to actually raise a child, what some of the norms are about having a child, what some of the potential complications are. I think those conversations need to happen, and I don't think they're happening at all. People they parent the way they saw their parents parent, or their grandparents, or whoever, and they just figure it out. And I think that's fine to a certain degree, but then there's a lot of information out there, and things change, and there's new and updated information. So people need to know about all of that.
you're getting into one of my favorite subjects right now.
What's wrong with him?
You're getting
You should have rethought having everybody on this podcast.
I'm trying to close this out and get this girl to stop.
No, what it is that, he's trying to be an expert on the subject matter.
I'm not trying to be expert.
And he's like us, really, he's trying to sound all formal, proper, which is fine. But I'd rather listen to you talk than have him say
No,
something.
I like your question though. That's a good important question to ask. Is
Let me say this. When you've decided after third grade you're not getting educated anymore, this is the result. So anyway, what were you saying?
Those are my favorites. I like so what you're leading into is a conversation really about education and boundaries, because what you're saying is, like, yes, there are a lot of people that say, I'm going to parent just like my parents, and that's fine. But what if the other partner has a different view and says, hey, I actually want to parent a different way. Maybe I read this study and I agree with this science. I want to try this. What if that person, or their parents or your parents don't go along with it? Then you're in this battle of, I need to now, instead of just going with the norm, I feel this calling in my soul to stand up for what's right for me and my children. And now I need to fight everyone around me and break generational either traditions or generational cycles.
Right.
That's a huge part of this conversation as well, is maybe I want to do things differently than everybody else, but my traditional family doesn't support it. That's happening with so many moms these days, that there are a million women that don't have the support they need because they've chosen to go no contact, because they've said, well, I'd rather be no contact and have life be harder than stand here and defend myself for what I believe is right to my child to someone else.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of this too. So that's also in there. It's a comprehensive documentary. Like we're not missing a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Love it.
So what my wife and I, when we have a disagreement or have different opinions, we could solve it real easy. Rock, paper, scissors. It works.
Every time. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no. Again, this is a serious conversation. I'm just trying to add a little light to it because to keep everybody's attention. But Frank, your opinion matters also, and just the fact that you want to chime in and really get to the bottom of it is really interesting to me.
So now we're going to shift to a fun conversation.
Okay, let's go.
We're going to shift to something fun. He's like, I'm sweating over here. But thank you. No, you asked a lot of like super thoughtful questions.
I'm
Thank
just
you.
embarrassed for him. All his ignorance, so. But anyway.
Yes.
So now we're going to talk about the serious issue at hand, which everyone's talking about, the pierogies.
Or the pierogies.
We need to talk about the pierogies.
Pierogies.
Yes.
You start off, Frank.
Well, first of all, I never had pierogies,
Which is a shame.
which is a shame. And maybe it's a cultural thing. 'Cause we never had it over Easter, Thanksgiving, or anything. But I love looking at pierogies. They look delicious, but I've never had it.
Potato and cheese with sauteed onions.
Yeah.
We have that every Easter. It's
Oh.
so good. So good.
So I think it is a cultural thing. I haven't had it either, but I'm willing to try.
So it seems like you guys need to go over to Good Pierogi. But what we're...
But I hope they give me some. They might deny me pierogies. But
Well, yeah, so the person they denied this week was Alan Dershowitz, which
Yeah.
extremely controversial. Would love to hear you weigh in on this, Steve.
You really want me to weigh in? I don't know enough about everything that was going on, but I did see a headline, and so he was being attacked, was it, or was he?
So he was denied. He went to go and get...
I just read the headlines. I mean, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so what happened was Alan Dershowitz, allegedly, according to these articles that we've read in the MV Times, Vineyard Gazette, and more,
Yeah.
he went to go and get a pierogi from Good Pierogies and was denied for representing Epstein.
Yes. Mhm.
So, now he says he's going to be suing the West Tisbury Farmers Market
Yes.
and Good Pierogies. So, and rumors on Islanders Talk today were that he was there passing out flyers asking people to boycott now Good Pierogi. So it's elevated into really this whole issue where, they're saying, should island businesses be allowed to refuse service for any reason?
well, I think everybody has the right to refuse service. I mean, I don't know if legally you can sue somebody for saying, I don't want to serve you. I think that's a policy. People can decide not to serve somebody.
It's controversial. I mean, if you have someone who has money and is willing to pay for something, I think you have to honor it. I mean, unless this person's being very disruptive or something like that, McDonald's says, no shoes, no shirt, no service. So if there's some sort of disruption or guideline, then yeah, I think you can refuse it. But if someone's just coming to pay for something, I think you have to serve them.
A lot
I
of
don't think
businesses
being
say they have the right
an extreme DB makes you protected by law.
Right.
I mean, come on now. It's like if somebody doesn't want to serve him, it's not because of any reason other than his actions. So it's like, I mean, I don't see how you can be protected for that. It's a personal reason, not a religion or race or any other kind of issue, and he's making it into a big thing. And I think he wants to make it into a big thing because that's who he does. That's what he is. And my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Frank seemed like you had one.
Well, it's definitely interesting. I'm eager to see how something like this plays out because I do know, when I watch, this is not the best research, but when I watch things on YouTube and somebody says they won't serve me, and the police come in, they'll be like, well, they have the right to refuse service, so you just go somewhere else. So, but I don't know what the laws are from state to state to state, but he's an attorney as well, so I would think that if he's deciding he wants to sue, you would think he would have more information. So, which makes me wonder what's really going on with him.
I think that's enough reason not to serve him at all. It's because he's a good attorney.
Right. Just so I don't know. It's just an interesting situation. Over Perogies.
Over pierogies. I mean, there must be some real good
They
pierogies.
really now.
Now I want to get the pierogies.
I want to go tomorrow and get pierogies. Yeah, because I'm really curious.
I bet you they sell more of them
See
now.
why he's upset. These are delicious.
What if this is all like a marketing scheme and it's just
Right.
a really well done one?
Right.
Real, like we're all getting played right now to go get good pierogi.
Right.
But that's not far fetched. I mean, I think that happens all the time. I don't think anything is always an accident. I mean, I think some things a lot of things are planned. So,
Now,
conspiracy theory.
Who is it that says there are no accidents?
Right.
Well, it's
now, has anyone ever had an experience like where they remember like being refused service? Because personally, I had one, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it was Valentine's Day, and my ex-husband and I were going to get sushi, and he didn't have a reservation, and he was like, just walk in, it's fine. And so we go in, and they were like, no. And they're like, well, and I was like, oh, we can sit at the bar. And he goes, no, those seats are reserved too. And I was like, but there's no one there. And they were like, no, they're reserved. And I was like, well, okay, we can wait for a table. And he was like, yeah, no, our wait list is full for the night. And I was like, okay. And granted, it didn't seem like there were a lot of people, so I don't know what the deal was, if maybe they were expecting a crazy party that like we didn't know about, like something.
But why would you refuse service?
That was my question. And I was like, well, and he said it was because everything was full. We could see it wasn't. They said it was everything was full. Now, would I go and sue someone because I was refused service? No, I'm embarrassed. I want to go hide under my covers. I don't want anyone to know this happened, and I never want to go back in again.
Well, I guess what he's saying is that he's been refused service because of his politics, which is enough of a reason, I think. Isn't it? I mean, sure. If I don't want to sell my pierogies to somebody because I don't like their politics, I should be able to. It's like, I mean, personally, I'd sell them to them anyway, just charge them more.
Now, have you been refused service anywhere, like ever?
Actually, like you said, but I don't think it was specific, but it was a restaurant on the island that opened up not too long ago, and my wife and I went there. They don't take reservations, and we went there on our anniversary, and it was the way we got refused service that sucked. It was like they were like they looked down, looked up at us, and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're fully committed this evening." And it was like,
Fully committed.
Well, I guess we'll go to the shanty then. And we went there and had a great meal.
Betting I can guess where you went.
What's that?
Betting I can guess where you went, but we'll save that for off air.
I said the shanty. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't what you're thinking.
Okay.
Nope,
All
it
right.
wasn't.
Inside
But-
joke.
She's thinking the place that's near the shanty. But,
Oh, okay.
no, it wasn't there, but it was I think it was just an individual who they were full and it was just decided they needed to be snooty, from where they were, which of course is kind of, I don't know. I have a personal problem with people get snooty, but it's probably because
I went to eat at this place that served treats and stuff, and I went in there and they said, we don't serve your kind. They serve dog treats, so I understood what they meant. I said, oh, I thought, okay, well, thank you. It's a joke. I'm here all week.
But the question, how many did you eat though? That's what.
Right, I had to lie. Yeah, I've got 2 Shih Tzus in the car. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Well, on that note,
Roof.
Right.
That's all I can think of.
So on that note, we're gonna wrap up for this evening. Obviously, as you know, we're gonna have so much more coming up. We have the This Week on Martha's Vineyard app. You can download that straight to your phone to see everything that we have that's been going on island. You can follow us on Instagram. We are posting as often as we can at This Week on MV, so you can log on, check us there. And of course, we have the show that you can watch, so that's going to be coming out every other week. And if you're walking around downtown OB or Edgartown, make sure you look for, especially in Vineyard Haven, those little paper stands. We have our newspapers out, and we have the maps inside downtown OB in the information booth. You can just walk right up, grab a map, and have that to help you get along your day as you plan out what you're going to do, where you're going to stay, what you're going to see here on Martha's Vineyard. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.